Today we're diving into something really subtle, a form of psychological control that can be almost invisible. It's this weird dynamic that makes you feel totally capable one minute and then completely helpless the next. We're talking about dependency rituals. Think about this for a second. You're a capable, independent adult, right? But then, when it comes to certain things, maybe a specific task, maybe just processing your own feelings, you find yourself totally stuck, just paralyzed, until that one person steps in. Why? Why does your own competence just seem to evaporate when they're around? Have you ever felt that? That weird feeling that your ability to just function is somehow tied to someone else's presence? Well, that feeling has a name. It's the paradox of dependency rituals, and it's all about the calculated outsourcing of your own autonomy. And let's be clear, that word, calculated, is there for a reason. This isn't some happy accident. It's a system, a framework of repeated behaviors that are literally designed to make you feel like you need them, basically siphoning your own power right into their hands. So, to really get how this whole thing works, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we're going to nail down exactly what these dependency rituals are. Then we'll walk through the 3 phases of how your autonomy gets worn down. We'll look at the brain science behind why we're even vulnerable to this. And then, most importantly, we're going to lay out a game plan for taking back your competence. And we'll end on this key idea: friction is freedom. So, let's get right into it. What exactly are we talking about here? Because this goes way beyond just someone being helpful. This is a structured framework, and it's designed for control.
Okay, this definition sounds a little dense, but let's pull it apart, because the words here are perfect. Your internal locus of control is just that gut feeling that you're in the driver's seat of your own life. You make the choices, you handle what comes, you're in charge. These rituals are designed to systematically flip that, to make you feel like a passenger. Suddenly, the control is external. It belongs to someone else. And the way they do it is by eroding self-efficacy, which is just a fancy way of saying they chip away at your belief that you can actually get things done on your own. And you have to ask why. What's the end game here? It all comes down to one thing: predictive compliance. The person doing this isn't just looking for a power trip in the moment. No, they're engineering a long-term situation where your behavior becomes totally predictable, where you just comply. You become this stable, reliable source of whatever it is they need from you. Maybe it's validation, maybe it's a sense of purpose, or maybe it's just plain old control. Your freedom is the price for their comfort.
Now, the reason this whole process is so dang effective is because it hijacks 2 things our brains are just wired to do. First, our brains are habit-making machines. They love shortcuts for anything we do over and over. Dependency rituals basically turn a simple act of help into a habit that feels like it's not even optional. Second, our brains are lazy. They're built to save energy, what scientists call cognitive load. If you give your brain a choice between doing something hard and doing something easy, it's gonna pick easy almost every single time. And dependency? Well, that's the ultimate easy button. It feels like relief, but it comes at a huge cost.
These rituals really stand on 3 pillars. First up is the helpfulness trap, and this one starts so innocently. They always make your coffee. They always handle that annoying phone call. Seems nice, right? But it's slowly outsourcing parts of your life. Then comes the second pillar, the invalidation of competence. This is way more subtle. It's the little sigh they let out when you try to do the task yourself. It's that phrase, "Here, just let me do it, it'll be faster." It's this constant low-grade message that you're just not quite good enough to handle it. And then you've got the most powerful one, the dopamine relief cycle. They might create a little stress. Oh, wow, that looks really complicated. And then they swoop in to rescue you. That feeling of relief you get, that's a real chemical reward in your brain, a little hit of dopamine that literally trains you to see their intervention as safety.
So, how does this actually take hold? I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, steady erosion of your independence, and it happens in 3 pretty distinct phases. It all kicks off with phase 1, functional takeover. Honestly, at first it feels amazing. It feels like being cared for. They take on a task, then another. It feels loving. But what's really happening under the hood is that the neural pathways in your brain for those tasks, they start to go quiet. You're not using them, so they get weaker. And that leads right into phase 2, efficacy erosion. After this happens enough times, you don't just let them do it, you start to believe you actually can't do it. Your confidence just withers away. Dependence isn't a choice anymore, it's your default setting. Even thinking about doing the task yourself starts to create this genuine feeling of anxiety. And this all builds to phase 3, identity merging. This is the end game. You don't see yourself as a capable person who lets someone help anymore. You now see yourself as an incapable person who needs help. Your identity and the dependency become one. Oh, I'm just not a tech person, or I'm terrible with directions.
At this point, trying to act on your own feels legitimately threatening. It causes major anxiety, which only goes away when you snap right back into that dependent role.
And this is the part you really have to get. That overwhelming, gut-level feeling that you need this person to function. It is not a fact. It's not a true measure of what you're capable of. It is a carefully manufactured habit, one that was installed so slowly and so subtly, you are probably convinced it was your own idea.
But why do our brains even fall for this? I mean, why would we ever trade something as valuable as our own autonomy for dependence? Well, that brings us to the psychological tug-of-war that's happening right at the heart of this whole dynamic. This really lays out the push and pull perfectly. On one side, you have the controller's goal, effortless retention. They want you there, they want you stable, a reliable source for them. And on the other side, you've got your own brain's vulnerabilities. It's programmed to avoid hard work, that cognitive load, and it is a sucker for the bait of short-term relief. When they step in and fix the problem, that immediate wave of, phew, I don't have to deal with that, is such a potent reward that it makes you willing to make that trade over and over again.
I want you to think of it like this. Imagine your ability to do a task is a well-paved road in your brain. When a dependency ritual gets set up, it's like someone comes along and builds a brand new 6-lane superhighway that just goes right around your little road. It's faster, it takes zero effort from you, and your brain, always looking for the easy way, starts taking that superhighway every single time. After a while, your original road gets overgrown with weeds, it gets cracked, it becomes almost unusable. That feeling of need is simply your brain forgetting your own road even exists. It's built a neurological bypass around your own competence.
Okay, that was the heavy part, the anatomy of the trap. It's complex, it's powerful, but it is not unbreakable. So let's shift gears, let's get into the action plan. It's time to talk about how you reclaim your micro-competence and start to rebuild those forgotten roads in your brain.
Breaking the cycle really starts with 3 concrete steps. First, the ritual audit. You have to see it to change it. So you're going to identify every single task, big or small, where you feel like you must wait for them. Seriously, make a list. Is it figuring out what's out for dinner? Is it dealing with a customer service call? Write it all down. These are your outsourced tasks. Second, the micro-action rehearsal. You don't start by trying to tackle the biggest thing on your list. No way. You start small, like ridiculously small. If they always pay the bills online, your micro-action is just to open the email from the power company yourself. That's it. The whole goal is to do one tiny, previously outsourced thing alone. Finally, you have to enforce the competence boundary. And that means using your voice to verbally take your turf back.
And here is your script. It's simple, it's powerful, and it works. Thank you, but I'm committed to handling this myself today. Let's just break down why this is so brilliant. Thank you is polite. It keeps things from escalating. I'm committed is a statement about you. It's not up for debate. Handling this myself is a crystal clear boundary, and adding today makes it feel temporary, which can be a lot easier for the other person to accept without a fight.
So it is so important to understand that these tiny little actions are not just symbolic. Every single time you perform one of these small tasks, you are doing something profound inside your own brain. You're sending a little spark of electricity down that old, overgrown road. You are literally refiring the neural pathways of your own self-efficacy. You do that enough times and the weeds start to clear, the pavement starts to repair itself, your road becomes a real option again. This is real-world neuroplasticity. You are literally rewiring your brain for freedom.
All right, so we've covered what it is, how it works, and what to do about it. Let's bring this all home with the single most important mindset shift you need to make to get out of this trap.
If you take only one thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. That intense, overwhelming, and often terrifying feeling that you need them, it's a habit. It is not a fact. It feels true, it feels completely real, but it's a phantom limb. It's a sensation created by a well-worn pathway in your brain, not by any actual lack of ability. Your competence was never gone. It was just dormant.
So, the path forward is actually pretty clear. Awareness, which you get from your ritual audit, is what breaks the unconscious loop. Performing those micro-actions starts the physical process of rewiring your brain for competence. And finally, you have to embrace this new idea. Choosing friction over ease is a choice for freedom. That smooth, easy superhighway of dependence, it's a cage. The effort, the awkwardness, the friction of doing it yourself, that is literally the feeling of breaking free. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. Not for later, for right now. Look at that list you made from your ritual audit. Look at all those small, seemingly meaningless tasks.
What small friction will you choose to embrace today to start reclaiming your autonomy?